Okay, so we were right. Not that it wasn't particularly obvious, but yeah, Vex is the next Legends of Runeterra champion for the Dream Path, Path of Dreams, Path Dream something something expansion. It has a name. I forgot about what it was. So sure, let's take a look at her reveal because Vex is actually, man, like Vex is her publishing story is such a bummer because she got tied into the Ruination, and I don't like that. As a means of introducing Vex to the story. Because, like, according to the Sentinels of Light visual novel, Vex was basically instrumental in Viego killing tens or hundreds of thousands of people, right? Because she is the one who used her powers, or especially, like, through the portals of the Yordle realm, to spread the mists of the Shadow Isles, right? Like, the ruining mists across as much of the world as possible, like literally enabling Viego to do his like whole world ruination thing where like the black mist pours forth from every like major landmark in Runeterra, and oh god, there's undead invading everywhere, and it's like she's an accessory to attempted genocide, right? Like it's, oh my god, it was a weird decision where Vex was introduced as essentially this sort of lighthearted comedy element in the middle of what was otherwise mostly pitched as a fairly sort of dark, tragic, romantic, in the classical sense of the word, romantic tale. And it's like where she thinks Viego's so cool because he's bad and evil. And it's like, I like the interactions between Vex and Viego is that, like, Vex thinks he's cool because he's a nihilist who wants to destroy everything, and then she stops thinking he's cool the moment she realizes he actually loves his wife for real. And she's like, feelings, I don't want to, you aren't as cool as I thought. But it's tonally, like, the whole Sentinels of Light event and the Ruination event had tone problems, like, up the ass and out the mouth, like, just all the way through. But Vex, in particular, was a particularly vexing instance of that. Because, like, her actual lore, her actual story, her actual concept is not that. Vex is the goth emo Yordle who hates fun, right? Like, that's literally her whole deal, is that she thinks it sucks and it's so lame when things are happy and bright. There's like bird song and cheers and smiles. I don't want to deal with that. I just want to sit in my room and I want to be emo with my poetry, right? Like that's the baseline of who Vex is. Like, and a lot of Yordles are that way. They are caricatures of like specific archetypes or specific ideas, right? Like the same way that Kled is kind of a parody of Noxus, right? Like with all of his, I'm Senior Commander, Rear Forward Admiral, like Second Lieutenant Master Sergeant Kled, right? Like his obsession with military rank and conquest and like have like all of the land being, this is my property. That is a parody of like Noxian sort of imperialist expansion and like obsession with military as like this, as like the heart of the nation, right? And Vex, in that sense, like she's sort of a parody of an emo kid, right? Like because Yordles are sort of fey creatures that way, and that just like it just does not fit in the tragic story about like fucking like this good man, like a man who was once upon a time had the potential to be good, driven completely fucking over the edge by the death of the only person in the world that he truly loves, and then corrupted horribly by a giant magical apocalypse that like took out a significant portion of the world. Like it. You can't slot the, I'm an emo kid, I want to sit in my room and read poetry. Like, you can't slot that into there. Like, that just doesn't go. And it sucks, because Vex is actually a fun character. She's an interesting champion, especially as a Yordle, because so much of the Yordles is, you know, comedy and whimsy. And she's the one who's sort of, like, she's the sort of straight man to all of that. She's the one who sits in the corner, rolls her eyes, and goes, oh my god, this is so lame. Like, and who sort of revels in gloom and doom and like the almost performative misery, with like this little tiny hint that maybe underneath it all there are some things that she does care about, but she doesn't want to admit it even to herself, right? Like she mostly talks to her own shadow is the thing. So she's a fun character. I really like Vex as a concept, as a character. I like her voice lines. I like the way that but the way that she was introduced to League of Legends, like, my god, just like, you could either have just had her not be connected to the Ruination that year, or you could have waited. You could have fucking, like, there were enough delays and shift arounds in, like, the release schedule. If you were actually committed to making the Ruination consistent with itself, just don't put Vex in it. I don't understand why they did that. Anyway, now she's in Legends of Runeterra, which is a game that's substantially better suited to the general tone of everything that she's got going on. So let's have a look. And this was presumably her level 1. It's like, yeah, it's a little basic, but that kind of suits her, actually. Like, that she's just kind of sitting in, like, a dark corner of, like, the Bandle portals with Shadow and, like, tearing cutesy little birthday invitation to shreds. I wonder what her story is going to be. Is it going to be a thing of, like, some yordle is inviting her to a birthday party, and she's like, ugh, I don't want to go, that's lame, that's stupid, tears the invitation up, and then she goes anyway because she wants to just ruin the whole thing, but it's secretly because she kind of a little bit wants to be included. I mean, let's see.
Smiles, make it stop.
Oh, no. I'll see in the black heart of the Shadow Isles, a lone yordle trudges through the spectral fog, content in its murky misery. With an endless supply of teen angst and a powerful shadow in tow, Vex lives her own self-made slice of gloom, far from the revolting cheer of the normie world. Though she lacks ambition, she's quick to strike down color and happiness, stopping all would-be interlopers with her magical malaise. So, attack, grant the strongest enemy gloom, and we've granted 5 different times. She levels up. She's a 5/4 for 4. Okay, with fearsome. That makes sense. Okay, gloom sprites, pie toss. That makes sense. Contrologist. Okay. Grotesque gift. The family reunion. Oh, that's a Vex card. I can see her there. I want to see the art for that. LA, Beefcake Mayor. Oh, really? Wait, what? Oh, we're getting fun Yordle cards? I am pleased with that. Vex and then Grim being her hardest hitting. Okay.
Sunlight.
Ah, so this is the opposite of spirit, right? That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, sure. Has -1/-1. This keyword can stack. So they, like, Vex and Lux are essentially being constructed as natural enemies here.
I should have stayed in bed.
Oh, wait. Where did Shadow come from there? Hang on.
Bed.
I guess Shadow was already on the field? Because I don't feel like I saw that in Vex's card description that she just attacks with Shadow, but it makes sense that Shadow would be there. I guess that was just a card that was already played.
So
Nay, hang on. I need to see that icon again. What was that visual effect for Gloom? Excuse me? What in the... Is that supposed to be Gloom? That's a fucking Joker smile. What the heck? Okay.
So negative, so grumpy. Oh, so positive. It's suffocating.
Okay, the family reunion. 1, grant a unit gloom. 2, grant a unit impact. 3, boost 3. Is that the countdown then? That's a different way to put that. Was it a thing of, like, there's 3 pieces of it? So you put 3... I don't know. Or... Okay, so that's... For the first level of the family reunion, grant a unit gloom, and then you make... I don't know. Story. Oh, it's a story card. I see. So that's... I thought it was a landmark. I was like, what's going on here?
I'll handle this.
But okay, so that's, like, that's... You put that down, and then you have a set of missions, right, that you have to handle. That seems to be the idea here. Or not? Wait, what? You put it down, and then you can replay it to trigger its first effect? I guess, well, by paying 2 mana? Or do you just get that for free?
You just don't get it.
I guess you just get that for free.
Make your midnight dreary.
Okay, so Vex, it's a nightmare for her. Of course it is. Is that Surprise Party a Mumu? In the background there? Who are these characters? I think that's Nar. Is that Braum? That can't be Braum. Because I would imagine they would be like the surprise party characters. So is surprise party Soraka there in the background somehow? Huh. But it does seem to be that Vex, when she levels up, it's because she's falling asleep along with Shadow, and then she falls into a horrible nightmare of being invited to a cheerful birthday party with lots of people around who are all happy to see her. Oh, we don't like that. That's a Teemo shroom for sure. Oh no, a party. Oh god. she's so she's so unhappy. She's so like, "Oh no. Oh god. The worst thing that could possibly happen to me." Look at her expression like, "Oh no. Oh god." And then Shadow shows up and she like stands her ground. Oh, poor baby.
I'll make your midnight dreary.
When it gains gloom, and it's basically like another version of Lux when when it gains gloom again, which is like Lux's power in reverse. Wait, what's that existential dread? That's grant all enemies gloom, surely, right? Yeah. Slow spell, 4 mana. Yeah.
Oh wow, that was lame. How are the sunshine and rainbows looking now?
Okay, so there's Grim. Oh, Grim looks like a charmer. Beefcake Mayor. So, like, again, thinking through the idea that these are all... Oh, she's doing the... she's doing the... she's doing the cruel anime girl stare. Lame. Grotesque gift, right? So that would be one of the gifts in Vex's Nightmare. Shadow. 5 mana, 2/5. When I'm summoned, draw Vex. Ah, so it's like, it's her, like the ships that you have for all the captains in Bilgewater. When I have +1, I have +1/+0 from each different time you've granted Gloom this game, right? So that's another way to get Vex into your hand, right? I see. And they synergize. Makes sense. It doesn't gain health, though, so it can only ever get so beefy. Beefcake Mayor. So that would be the mayor of Bandle City in Vex's Nightmare being the one who has sort of forced her to attend this party celebration thing. And Grim kind of looks like maybe that will be the one Yordle Vex kind of has a crush on because he likes skulls and dark shit. Is that the idea? Or is he like a Yordle who's trying to hit on Vex? Who's like, hey, Vex, like, could we hang out and, like, be sad together? Like, is he trying to, like, win her over by pretending to be, like, a dark and gothic suave? Either way, interesting to hear. I'd be interested to hear their lines together. So let's see. If you have the attack token, boost all enemies. Right, so that only applies if they have Gloom, right? Psychological Warfare +1 strike mana. Damage to enemies is dealt in the form of Gloom. Okay, then that gets real fucking powerful all of a sudden. And then round start, boost all enemies no matter what. So that's basically just you want to get... Yeah, you want to do direct damage to everything so that you can just, like, boost them to pieces and just, like, shove them down, hold them down. Okay, that makes sense. That would lead to some overpowered builds, I feel. Is this like her level 2 art, or what is this? One thing I've always loved about Vex is the design of Shadow, by the way. Shadow's design is fantastic. I really like it. In part because, like, it's sort of being used in the way that familiars often are when you get, like, character designs like this. If you follow this channel, I've been watching Has Been Hotel, right? Serpentius has this hat that, like, has expressions on that sort of mirror and emphasize his mood, and Shadow is sort of the same way for Vex, is that Vex keeps trying this, like, oh, I don't care about anything. I'm so bored, and it's so annoying, and I'm so tired of all this normie shit. But then Shadow tends to have the more powerful expressions that sort of occasionally reveal something about her internal emotions, right? Which I think, like, is lovely, and also just like the neon, like the yellow, like not the yellow, the pink and the teal and the, like, the bright electric blue that they've got going on in the detailing on Shadow is like, ooh, that's just an appealing way to sort of put eyes on a Shadow creature like that. I think that's very cool. I've always liked Vex a lot. I really have. Like, I think she deserves so much better than she got in the fucking Ruination game. Oh, man, I really want to see all the art for her followers and for her associated cards. I really, really do. Especially that fucking... Especially Grim. I want to know what the deal is with Vex and Grim. What do the two of them have got going on? Anything at all? I would love it so much if Grim is someone who's just like trying so hard to be dark and gloomy enough for Vex to give a shit about him. But because he cares about Vex, she's always gonna go, ugh, he cares about me? Ugh. Like, normie shit. Like, there's a fun dynamic there. It would also be very fun if he's someone like Vex is like, oh shit, that's Grim. Am I looking sad enough? Right? Like, where she's the one who's sort of like trying very hard not to let on that she actually has kind of a crush on him. Either way, it's a fun dynamic. Man, show me the goddamn cards. I want to know. Because again, I like Vex a lot as a character. I think she could be involved in some lovely comedic stories, like some lovely fun comedy stories with the other Yordles, like dragging her along on adventures that she absolutely does not want to go on. There's a lot of, like, Lulu and Vex in particular. There's a comedy duo right there. Like, there's a fucking comedy duo. For the two of them to interact, to mess around with each other, absolutely. Sign me the fuck up for that. But again, you know, it's contingent on Riot ever doing anything with any of their champions ever again, which the odds, like, okay, I'm being too pessimistic here. No, of course they are. Of course they're gonna do stuff with their champions again. Like, the 2X KO is coming out, whatever. It's just... because Riot's communication has been so ass, and is always ass, and has always been ass, and because I don't trust them, and because they fired 530 people from their company for no good goddamn motherfucking reason. Just to be clear, Riot makes money on a scale that you can't comprehend, right? Like, it has nothing to do with sustainability in terms of finances. Absolutely fuck all nothing. Like, that, the money to keep those people hired could have been very easily found. It's just, it would have to come out of someone else's, like fucking dividends or something. Like, it wouldn't... Yeah, I hate corporations, and I have just... Vex is so cool. She's so cute. She's so fun. And she deserved better than to be fucking tied at the hip to the fucking Ruination story, which just used her as a punchline. Without really engaging with any part of her character, because she was just comedy relief, and then also an accessory to attempted genocide. Like, I don't know how many fucking people died because Vex poured the black mist into their homes, but it was not zero. And I was like, that doesn't tonally line up with what the fuck Vex has got going on at all. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So yeah, mixed feelings, but man, I want to see those cards. I want to suss out the story of Vex having a nightmare about a birthday party. That to me sounds like a good fucking time. Ah, well, we'll see. Lilia should be next, one assumes. So I guess I'll do a reaction for that when she comes up. I love her so much too. She's a good character, again, who's just not... She got, like, pushed into the world, a scary little fawn, with a very good, interesting sort of basic narrative for, like, where her story arc is going to go, and then Riot just... she's in Spirit Blossom, I guess. Bye, never talking about her again. Same thing with Rel. Rel deserved better. Okay, I'm going to stop this video now, because I'm clearly just going to go off on a thing. Bye!